Hi, James. What's going on out there?
Good morning, Virginia. Well, I'm here this morning with Gail McHardy, the Executive Director of Parents Victoria, which is an umbrella organisation representing the parents of public schools all around the state. Now, the association, Gail, has to date been in favour of the testing, but with certain caveats. What are they?
Our reservations were always about the ranking of schools and how the data was going to be used. Now that the tests are going to proceed, the testing can now be delivered, and the reality is now how governments will use those results and what restrictions they will put on the protocol about how wider media will publish those results.
Are you happy to see the testing go ahead? You had backed the union.
We've always been okay with the testing. It's about how the results are being used, and we're certainly we're quite proud of the teaching profession to stand up and be counted on a very important issue.
Now, you mentioned as well not just the league tables, which a lot of the concern has focused around, but also the impact on students' education and the breadth of what's taught. What are your concerns? Do you think that this will see teachers effectively coaching students at the expense of other curricular areas?
Well, as it's coming out today, as the first day of testing, and we're hearing a lot of radio talkback, etc., and just on the actual internet wires, etc., about how there is evidence of teaching to the test. I mean, how many people are brave enough to out that going on is going to be interesting, and the fact of be it voluntary withdrawal or encouraging students to withdraw certainly is not helpful, because how can we support the students that need the help the most if those children are not sitting the test?
So you're concerned that effectively the testing regime incentivises teachers to leave out kids that might be struggling?
I don't blame the profession. I blame the people behind that direct the profession. That's what's the frustrating part of this. I mean, we've got to stop playing the blame game. Principals and teachers have a job to do as educators. They do that they find that very difficult to do when they're being dictated by governments that want to be accountable to society. But let's be a bit more transparent about that. I mean, if we are having a lot of difficulties in numeracy and literacy, let's put the investment in to bring those kids up to where they need to be and let them reach their potential.
Do you think there's a concern amongst parents and amongst teachers as well that the outcomes of these tests will dictate to their schools and indeed for the teachers their own educational futures?
As the days got closer and closer to the test, and of course all the debate that was going on about the test going ahead, I was getting calls to the organisation and individually from concerned parents about anxiety levels in children, where there was a lot of coaching going on, and that's sad. That's really, really sad, because who's that helping? It's not helping anyone.
And finally, what are the vast majority of parents, of your members, telling you about the efficacy, the usefulness of both the testing and the My School website?
In the main, families want their children to go to schools that offer the whole rounded education as far as being happy and safe and learning in a learning environment. They want to be engaged in their schools. They want their teachers to be engaged with their students and know their students. And if that's being delivered, as we know in examples of media today out of the northern suburbs, where some schools are brilliant at doing that, if that's happening, the test is only one snapshot, and that will proceed quite well. And if the data is used appropriately, then the right investment will go in the right places and everyone will be happy.
Thank you very much, Gail McHardy.
Thanks, James.
So, Virginia, Gail McHardy there from the Victorian Parents Association, Parents Victoria. The concerns really surround the level of coaching which is perhaps being provided to some students, and also the concern that perhaps some students, particularly those who might be struggling with some of these areas, might be being asked to perhaps stay home or told that they need not sit the test. Obviously a concern there based on how those results might impact a certain school's data. So these are the concerns which parents are voicing around the testing today.
James Bennett, thanks so much for that.